So, I've read that you and David have been working on the script for The King since 2013.
Yeah.
What was it about Shakespeare's King Henry's plays that inspired you guys to do this approach to the story?
It's a good question. You know, like the character of Hal and subsequently Henry V, because I actually see them as, you know, two sides of the same coin.
Sure, yeah.
I had played those characters when I was 25 and then 26. So I guess they've just been part of me and part of my interest for such a long time. And the idea of creating a movie of that life story was very alluring to me. And I guess I grew into a point where I had the opportunity to go pitch that to somebody. I was very much on a fence as to whether they were going to laugh me out of the room or whether they were going to say yes. And when they did say yes, I went to David and was like, how about it? What do you think? And very quickly together we decided, like, all right, we're not going to just make a Shakespeare film. We're gonna break off a bigger challenge for ourselves in terms of doing our own thing, like to carve our own path, which is what the result is, you know.
The approach of Falstaff.
Yeah.
In this one, because it's very different from usually how Falstaff usually portrayed. What were elements do you want to make sure? It's like, I want to keep these things so that people know this is still Falstaff, but do a different take on that. What are the elements you think you had to keep to make him recognizably Falstaff?
Yeah, it's interesting. The risk of doing the movie to start with, you know, you're treading on hallowed ground by like separating from Shakespeare, and then the idea of using the character Falstaff for a different purpose. That felt like a risk as well. But we were looking at the real life of a man called John Oldcastle, who a lot of people say is based on, who had been a general, had fought a war, had been a general for Richard II and Henry IV. And go, imagine it's the war-weary version of Falstaff, rather than the large jester, ineffectual, beloved Falstaff. And I was like, all right, we're going to step away from that. I'm going to be like pinning myself to a dartboard here. But it was important to kind of keep a sense of fun, a sense of faux father about him, and also kind of a questionable duplicity about his agenda. But everything else is sort of a different thing, you know. He's the kind of guy that if you crossed him in the pub, he could headbutt you, and, you know, he's not as much of a kind of a fool or a liar.
Right.
But he speaks truth. So yeah, it was a risk, but you know, the great thing is there's so many wonderful Falstaffs out there in the past. Like, we can always watch that.
Right.
We just chose to do a lot of our own things with this, and you know, we're proud of that. And then someone else wonderful will come along and play a Falstaff more akin to what Shakespeare intended again. So it's good. I think it's good that we have our own version of things.